Mr. Jung, not just Delhi, but I want you to look at the bigger picture. LG here, but governors across the country getting into these fights with the elected chief minister. Do you believe this is healthy for a democracy? Do you believe that are they acting as agents of the center, or is it inevitable that there will be some clashes at times?
Rajdeep, I'm extremely concerned at what's happening, because I think that this is becoming a challenge to the federal structure of the country. People should go back to the debates in the Constituent Assembly when personalities like Hari Vishnu Kamath, Iyengar, and indeed Dr. Ambedkar had clearly defined the limitations of the powers of a governor. So to exceed those powers today will be challenging the federal structure. In fact, if I recall rightly, my years may be wrong, I think in 1988 or so, the BJP itself, before the Sarkaria Commission, had said that whenever the center passes any legislation pertaining to states on the concurrent list, then the states should be consulted. So we are really taking a step back, and I think this is truly playing with fire, because the states involved, particularly West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala, these are states with enormous regional pride, and I don't think that we should at all get involved in this. This should be stemmed now. People should be advised to take a step back, and I'm sorry to use the word, but sanity must prevail. It's too dangerous the way we are going.
Would you make a distinction between the states you mentioned, the Tamil Nadus, the Bengals, the Keralas, with the Delhi, where you have a lieutenant governor in place? You were a former LG, and there was a feeling in a union territory the lieutenant governor has disproportionate powers. Now here is the elected government of Arvind Kejriwal saying the governor is not allowing us to, LG is not allowing us to function. You also had a conflict at times with Mr. Kejriwal. Is this a problem of a trust deficit between elected leaders and LGs or governors?
I will not comment on Delhi, Rajdeep. That's unethical on my part, having been here. But I really think that there has to be much more discussion, and this impression that it's only the opposition-ruled states that are having conflicts must go, because India indeed is a federal structure, and that has to be respected. So both the chief ministers, I mean, the powers of the governor are clearly enshrined in the Constitution. They can retain the bills for a part of the time, but they cannot retain them indefinitely. If they think that it's against the Constitution, they can refer it to President. But to sit on bills, to interfere with the working of universities as chancellors, this is not acceptable. This will lead to many, many conflicts. So all these people must take a step back. And this, what I am saying, has been recommended consistently by all commissions set up since 1968 to now.
You know, you went back to the Sarkaria Commission, to previous center state commissions. The fact, though, is the argument that today's leaders make is that even in the past, the Congress, which was then in power, was accused of misusing Raj Bhavans. So what is different? Do you see anything different between now and then?
No. The Congress certainly misused Raj Bhavans, there's no doubt, and the Congress also misused Article 356 quite easily in dismissing governments. And if it hadn't been from diktats from the Supreme Court, the consistent misuse of 356 may have continued. It's only much reduced today because of the intervention of the Supreme Court. So nobody, no government here, since the dismissal of the Kerala government at the behest of the then Congress President, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, way back in 1959, no government can be absolved of this. But what I am saying is the larger picture is the respect for federalism, the respect for state governments, and the respect for regional feelings, particularly in states which have tremendous culture. I mean, the Tamilians have enormous culture, their language, their literature, their poetry, their music, and the sense of pride that Tamil Nadu has in all these things. To suggest a change in name from Tamil Nadu to something else by the governor is not something that is healthy for center-state relations.
So in conclusion, what you are saying is governors need to in some way accept a certain Lakshman Rekha, that they must recognize that once you're appointed governor, you're a guardian to the constitution, you're not simply an agent of a political party or indeed the center.
That is the oath that the governors have sworn themselves to. And that is very clearly debated in the Constituent Assembly, that preferably governors shall not belong to any political party. They will be eminent citizens and therefore be above board of local partisan politics.
Well,
I don't see, you see, it's only embarrassing the central government. I think the Prime Minister has worked very hard to create India's international image. All this will hurt India's international image. The governor of today, please understand, is not the governor of the Mauryan times or the Mughal times or the American governors. Here their powers are extremely limited and enshrined in Article 163 of the Constitution.
Let me leave it there. Najib Jung, I appreciate your joining us. You've given us, in a sense, where you stand. Very clearly, you believe it's time for governors to take a step back in this conflict. Thanks very much for joining me.